Hi, good morning. Olga here from Astrology for GannTraders, and I thought I'd do a quick video about some of the tools, the Gann Astro tools in Optuma or GannTrader, because I get asked a lot of questions about it. And sometimes when you've got this amazing software and you don't know how to use the tools properly, it can be frustrating. So I will share my screen and show you how to use some of these tools. Where am I? Here we go. Okay, so what we do is we open a new chart. So we say new, and you can pick anything here. I'm just going to pick the S&P 500 and myself up there. So what we go, if you've got the GannTrader Astro tools version of Optuma, you go to tools. And there's lots of tools, obviously, but the first one is the Astro tools. Then there's also all the Gann tools. Okay, so many tools, but we're just going to focus on the Astro tools. You can see if you go down how many options you have here. So if you have this software, I recommend that you start experimenting with these Astro tools. There's declinations, you can put eclipses on there, there's an ephemeris tool. So I want to start with Gann planetary lines because this is the one I get asked the most questions about. So let's click on, and then you click on your chart, and you might not see anything, but because see, we need to fix the scale here. It's set to 100. That's way too much. So let's just put it to 1 and see what happens. So this is where I say you have to experimenting. So that's a lot more lines. Okay, that's a scale of 1 point per day or per degree of the planet. So I'm just going to use that for now, but you have to see what aspects we're using, okay? Then there's a panel here that says planetary lines. So you can pick whatever planet. You might only want to be looking at 2 planets, outer planets, and you can just take them out, or you can put the faster moving planets. Also, what aspect are you looking at? Okay, I've just set most of these to square. Let me just put Mars to square. You can have only conjunctions that you want, so it will only plot when planets come conjunct. I am using mainly, I'll just change that. Okay, so I recommend that you experiment with this. Okay, if you don't want so many lines on your chart, you might want to just do the opposition or just the conjunction. Okay, so then the other thing you can do, so we've got, so Gann was a genius, in my opinion, is that I don't know if he discovered it himself or it was something in the esoteric secret societies that they all belong to, is that converting planetary positions in longitude to price. And that's when I started again 18 years ago. That's what the most, what's the word, out there concept that I could have possibly thought would ever work. And of course it does, because the more you do with it every day, the more you realize it's amazing. And not only was he using it for trading, he was doing it for stock, for horse racing and lotto numbers. Okay. So yeah, so we don't have to draw them by hand like he was. We've got software, and there are many softwares that do it now. I've been using Optuma for years, and I think it's great. So, but also there are other softwares. But today I'm just going to be looking at Optuma. But the other thing you can do, now that we've put the planetary lines on, we can put the aspects on. So go back to Tools, to Astro again. We go down the line and we go to planetary aspects. So click on that, click on your chart, and it's going to come up with certain aspects, okay? But we want to modify that. So you can pick the planets that you want. Just so you know, tomorrow a certain aspect's coming up already. You want to see that on your chart. You can plot just that aspect. But if you want to have like the month or whole year ahead, you obviously plot as many planets as you want. It's a lot of noise sometimes. So what I do is I just start with the sun for first of all, and then I'll put all the outer planets, including Mars, which is not really an outer planet, but we need to have Mars on our charts because it's often the one that stirs the market. So then we've plotted those, and then we can modify the aspects that we want to use. So let's just take out the sextile. We'll just put in a conjunction for now, and a square and an opposition, okay? Because as I said, you're going to get a lot of information, but we're just using the sun for now. And the other thing is, you need to put your time zone wherever you are. For this example, I'm just going to put 0, so we're at Greenwich Mean Time, okay? We're using the ecliptic and the orb. Now, if you want to have exact timing, you want to limit the orb. So 2 degrees for the sun is going to be 2 days before the actual transit, okay? If you want to have it exact, I would say just half 30. Sorry, take out the 2. And do that. And you won't get as these big, I'm not sure why that's there. Because that's, anyway, that's not supposed to be there. What have I done? I don't know. But anyway, I won't worry about it. So anyway, so you can see that sometimes the software doesn't know what I'm asking it to do. That happens, right? Let's just zoom in. Okay, now you can say, oh God, there's too many lines on your chart. And I realize that because I'm using a scale of 1. Okay, if you want to, you can change that, put 10, you can put 100. This is why I say experiment with the scales of your chart. Nothing is standard for everything that you're looking at. Okay, so what I love here, see where you see the lines cross, you know that on that day, there's going to be a possibility of either support or resistance, depending which way the trend's going, okay? And it's also going to give you potential price levels, okay? I find it amazing that I found support here, but you can see on that day, the sun was conjunct Neptune and also the sun was square Mars. So that's like a big clustering day. So you expect something to happen on that day. So if you've got other indicators on your chart, this can really help you time your trades. And that's what astrology is all about. Sometimes direction can be tricky. Like you're not sure if it's going to be a reversal or a resistance or support, but you just follow the trend. I mean, Gann always tells you to trade the trend, okay? So the timing of the aspects is your advantage, and that's why I teach astrology to Gann traders. So thank you for listening.